know how Bob's Building Yard, I said I started maybe about a week or two ago, I don't remember exactly when, but yeah, I started it quite a bit ago, and I actually finished it, I think, probably about a week ago, so I'm sorry. I probably was going to show you this sooner, but honestly it's only been a week later since my last video, really, so yeah. So today I'm going to be showing you the complete build of Bob's Building Yard. Now also, you may also notice something here. Hey, Lofty's eyes are different, and I'll get to that later, because there is another model that has improved eyes, and I'm not going to say whether or not I've actually added these new eyes to the real life models too. That includes Lofty and the other vehicle. Anyways, I don't have a whole lot of time to film this since this is really big. I'm going to have to go to this quite quickly. So let's zoom out. Alright, so here is the whole building yard. As you can see, it is quite a big yard indeed. And the trees, mostly these two trees, are absolutely a nightmare to build. And as you can see, I added a little bit of an interior for the house. I haven't done this interior because I'm not quite sure how to do that exactly. But yeah. Anyways, without further ado, let's have a look at some important parts. Let's start off with the entrance of the building yard. Now, as you can see, the building yard actually has a ramp that goes down. Kind of stuffed that up a little bit. Well. But yeah, there is enough width for every single vehicle in my collection to pass through that gap, with quite a bit of clearance too, of course, if Bob was attached to the vehicles when he was driving out. And this is coral. So this, I was actually surprised that these pieces actually existed in coral. So hopefully they're not too expensive, but yeah, they do exist in coral, and I reckon they match Bob's building bricks a lot nicer than my previous colors, which was dark pink. So yeah, that's the front there. Now let's have a look at Rolly and Scoop's shelter. So as you can see their shelter here. How on the actual stop motion Bob the Builder, it actually faded from pink to blue, I believe. So these were the closest colors I could do in blue that actually matched properly. And yeah, you can see Rolly parked here and Scoop parked here, and there's a decent amount of room for them to go back into their shelter, while mostly Rolly. So as you can see, and they're also only slightly taller than the wall. Rolly is taller than Scoop by one plate. So yeah, which is actually accurate. I reckon Rolly is definitely taller than Scoop, I believe. And yeah, look like they fit in there quite nicely. I changed the height of the wall, the brick walls, by 1 brick, I believe. So they were previously 8 bricks tall, and this is 9 bricks tall now. Because I can't tell you how many times I had to change the height of the brick wall. It was actually quite annoying. But yeah, and then you got these brown fences as well all over the build too. Let's go to Muck and Dizzy's building shelter. So as you can see, Muck and Dizzy are also the other vehicles that have had a different eye print. Now these are custom prints, which I have to explain in another video because I ain't got time to explain them here. But yeah, the custom prints that were imprinted on Muck, Dizzy and Lofty. And then as you can see, their shelter's a lot nicer. This has actually got it hinged, so it hinges down just like on the real thing. Might be able to see that angle. And yeah, Muck and Dizzy fit in there quite nicely too. Alright, now let's move to Bob's building shed. The shed in the garage. Now, You're probably wondering, how did I get all these measurements and all that stuff? Well, I didn't really get the measurements. I kind of just looked on an episode of Bob the Builder and found a specific scene, paused it, had a look, and kind of estimated the size. And then most importantly, made sure that my machines would actually fit in the yard too, which they all do, thankfully. And yeah, you can see I scaled this to my Bob prop that I'm going to use for my stop motion, because this would be really cool if I could build this in real life and add it as an actual stop motion prop. But it's really expensive and massive. I just don't have the room or the money to get this thing at the moment. So maybe eventually this will come to the future at some point, I'm not sure. But yeah, there's the blue drawers, there's a little workbench, there's one of the winches that you would like squeeze in a piece of wood there so it wouldn't move while you're screwing something into it or doing something. Then this would be a drill or some sort of cutting device to cut out wood, and then you just store things in there. So yeah, I left out the shed door so you can see all that detail. And you got the tree here, as you can see. Looks quite nice. Added some little bit of a dimension to it, just like the cardboard cutouts are on the show, which is cool. Make sure the trees look just slightly taller than the roof, just like the real one, as you can see. Added some pellets and some water dripping down from the drain system. And as you can see, the yard actually bends backwards instead of just going a full flat wall. So yeah, it actually bends backwards, as you can see. There's another tree over here, which I wish I could make that bigger, but with green and the parts that Lego make, it's just not really possible at the moment. And let's go to Bob's house. So I'm not sure if I'm going to add an interior for the bigger section. Maybe I might, I'm not sure. But yeah. So this is where Wendy would be working, getting all the messages for people that need fixing in Bobsville, I believe. You see the chair, the little paper message thing that you send down the phone line, and of course the computer and the desk, which is also mostly to scale with my little Bob figure that I've got. And you can see the little drawers there, and the doors are absolutely massive, especially this door, but that's actually accurate in terms of scaling. Minifigures would look absolutely tiny on this, so I have no choice but to use my Bob figure in order to make this look somewhat doable or somewhat good with the figures. You can see the side of the house, got a little yellow skip, the window, some flowers in the little pots, and you can see the little brick built window design, more drainage, overhang bits, some flowers, some gutters. You can see the door and the other windows, much bigger door, little window on the top of the roof, and thanks to Lego's specialized part, you can actually get these to actually mush into the roof going upwards and sideways really well. Then of course you've got the little chimney as well. And yeah, as you can see, Lofty's crane is probably only just taller than the main roof, but Lofty himself is shorter than the first height of the roof. More little brown fence there, and yeah, just a bunch of brick coloring patterns for each one, not specific to the show, kind of just did random patterns, and actually worked out. So yeah, that's basically Bob's building yard. It is absolutely huge, and yeah, it looks really, really nice. I quite like it. And then I was going to add this to a Lego submission, but I have decided that I'm not going to submit my models to Lego submissions anymore. So the scoop is probably going to be the first and only time I'm going to be submitting any of my models to a Lego program where it could become an actual set. And eventually I'm going to have a website where you can purchase instructions for each one of my models, because my models keep improving and changing over time. So you'd also want a site where you can just get all the updates, because Lofty is hugely different compared to what he was when I did those instructions. So yeah, you can see the Bob logo, which I definitely do want to build this logo as well, because that'd be really cool. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've done with Bob's building yard. It is quite big and matches the scale with my vehicles quite nicely. As you can see, everyone fits in there quite nicely, and yeah, I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. And it was a massive thing to build, probably pretty big, to one of my biggest builds I've ever done on Lego so far. But yeah, that's pretty much Bob's building yard. Yeah. And then I just wanted to quickly share some quick stuff with Muck. I gave Muck a new arm connection piece instead of Muck's hinge joints, which you cannot see that at all. I'm gonna get my torch. And yeah, as you can see, Muck's hinge bit there. And then he's got a little arm clip. Oh, that was the bar. Then you get the arm. Yeah, so it's just one of those arm clips really in red. And that will give Muck more friction and stronger. It does unfortunately give him a little bit of a bar, but there's less thickness overall attached to the back of the bucket, so Muck will be able to have that closer to the front without looking too weird. I slightly pushed his arm in towards the front as well. You can see Muck's new eyepiece there as well. And yeah, I think those are basically the main changes. So they were done for strength, stability, and of course in order to make him more durable for stop motion. Still, unfortunately, has not found a way to make better caterpillar tracks for Muck. And then, yeah, this is a project that I'm hoping to do sometime next year. As you can see, it is Benny, which I've seen some people request me build. Benny is quite difficult to do. I'll go more into him in another video because I don't have time. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that's really happened and I've done with the building yard. So yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys all next time. And here is a little quick shot of Lofty's new eyes and Muck's new eyes. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys all next time. Bye!